Turkey take on Italy in the first game of the 2020 European Championship. The game comes almost a year after the competition was postponed last year due to the wretched pandemic that's affected everything on the planet. But thankfully, football, just like many other good things in life, is making a comeback, and we'll also be able to see fans inside the stadium. Games played without fans feel quite soulless, so it's great to see people attending the games. Today, we're going to talk about the group stages of the competition and assess which teams are favourites to go through to the next round. As always, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the little bell icon so that you don't miss out on all the good stuff that we keep posting every day. Group A. Group A contains pre-tournament favourites Italy, Euro 2008 bronze medalists Turkey, Switzerland and Wales. On paper, this looks like a pretty straightforward group, but that's not the case if you look at the squads closely. Italy are of course the strongest side in this group, with Roberto Mancini boasting one of the meanest defences in Europe and a capable attacking unit in which every player contributes to the team's cause. The Azzurri had a great qualification campaign and will be backing themselves to go deep in the competition. Turkey, on the other side, boast arguably the strongest squad they've had since the 2002 World Cup, in which they finished third. Şenol Güneş has a host of attacking talents to rely upon, including the creative influence of Hakan Çalhanoğlu. This time around, their defence, which boasts the likes of Çağlar Söyüncü, Merih Demiral and Ozan Kabak, will make the Turks difficult to score against. Switzerland have never managed to win a knockout phase in the competition's history, and will be hoping for a different outcome this time around. The manager Petkovic will have to rely on Granit Xhaka for stability in the midfield, and the creativity of Xherdan Shaqiri. The Welsh, on the other hand, enter this competition without the manager who helped them secure qualification. Ryan Giggs was relieved of his duties after he was charged with coercive control and actual bodily harm in relation to his ex-girlfriend. In his place, Robert Page takes over. The issue couldn't have happened at a worse time, so it might impact the national team's performances at the tournament. Our prediction? Italy top the group, with Turkey finishing second. Group B. Belgium have been given a rather straightforward task to qualify for the round of 16, with the Red Devils competing for the top spot with the likes of Denmark, Finland and Russia. They scored 40 goals and conceded just 3 in the qualifiers, and Roberto Martinez will be eager to guide the national team to their first major piece of silverware since taking over back in 2016. Similarly, the Danes head into the competition flying high, winning all 3 of their opening 2022 World Cup qualifiers. Kasper Schmeichel's job gets easier due to a resolute defence marshalled by Andreas Christensen, and with Thomas Delaney and Pierre-Emile Højbjerg forming a solid partnership, you have to feel that the Danes are good for a second place at least. The Russians are now in a rebuilding phase after hosting the 2018 World Cup. The talismanic shot-stopper Igor Akinfeev has retired, alongside Sergei Nashevich, so Stanislav Cherchesov is still looking out for suitable replacements. At the age of 34, Anton Shunin is still going strong, but the veteran forward's experience may not be enough for his young teammates, for whom the tournament would serve more as a great bit of exposure to international football. Finland have come a really long way. They failed to win a single game during the Euro 2016 qualifying campaign, but this time around they've managed to do well. Their manager Markku Kanerva has no coaching experience at club level and has been the national team manager since 2016. The fact that he's guided the Finns to their first major international tournament is remarkable. They'll be relying on the striking instincts of Teemu Pukki, who scored 10 goals in qualifying. However, we don't think it's going to be enough. Our prediction? Belgium top the group, with Denmark finishing a close second. Group C. This group has got the likes of the Netherlands, Austria, Ukraine and North Macedonia in it. The Macedonians are playing in their first major competition. Ukraine are a young and disciplined side, the Austrians are always unpredictable, while the Netherlands are a great side but do seem to be moving away from their usual style of play under Frank de Boer. After failing to qualify for the 2018 World Cup and the 2016 Euros, the Oranje squad has undergone extensive rebuilding. The Dutch will be without their backline leader Virgil van Dijk, but with the likes of Matthijs de Ligt doing a great job at the back, this team will be a hard nut to crack. Austria have never won a game in a major tournament in over 30 years, but with North Macedonia in the group, that's bound to change. Ukraine have never gone past the group stage of this competition, but you can't rule them out at all. This is a side managed by the legendary Andrei Shevchenko and is likely to buck the trend this time around. Our predictions: Netherlands topping the group, followed closely by Ukraine into the round of 16. Group D. Group D contains England, Croatia, the Czech Republic and Scotland. On paper, this seems to be a very straightforward route to the round of 16 for England and the 2018 World Cup finalists Croatia. Like France, you can make a really strong squad of players who won't represent England at the Euros. Gareth Southgate's squad is loaded with quality players, and the former Middlesbrough man will be eager to build on their semi-final run at the World Cup. Perhaps the Three Lions' toughest test in the group stages will come from Croatia, who are going through somewhat of a transitionary period. With Mario Mandzukic, Ivan Rakitic and Daniel Subasic retired from the national setup, we might see a few younger players, such as Joško Gvardiol, in the starting 11. The Czechs, on the other hand, will rely on West Ham stars Tomáš Souček and Vladimír Coufal to secure a second place ahead of Croatia. Patrik Schick has been in fine form for RB Leipzig, while the exciting Jakub Jankto is a winger who's full of confidence. Scotland, on the other hand, are making a first tournament appearance in 23 years, but their fans might not be expecting bigger things from a side that is expected to play a more defensive game. Expect the likes of Scott McTominay and John McGinn to give a true account of their talents on the big stage. Will it be enough? We don't think so. Our predictions: England should be able to win the group, but the second place is going to be an interesting three-way bout. However, Croatia might have enough experience to claim the last qualification place. Group E. A group that contains the likes of Spain, Sweden, Poland and Slovakia is definitely not going to be a dull one. 3 of the sides in this group could easily qualify for the round of 16. Spain's glory days are long behind them, but the new generation of Spanish talent isn't bad either. Of course, tiki-taka football might take some time to make a comeback, but under Luis Enrique, the young La Roja side is an interesting one to watch. They only conceded 5 times during the qualification campaign. This time around though, they won't have Sergio Ramos in the squad, but you can expect Pau Torres to form a great partnership in defence with Aymeric Laporte, who switched allegiance from France to Spain. The Swedes are expected to be a resilient side as always, but will have to dream big without their talisman leader Zlatan Ibrahimovic, who came out of retirement to play for the national team, only to see an injury ruin things for him. Watch out for Alexander Isak, who scored 16 La Liga goals for Real Sociedad, and the brilliance of Dejan Kulusevski, who is a star in the making. Hopefully Victor Lindelöf will be more watertight at the back than he normally is for Manchester United. Poland head into the competition with their new coach Paulo Sousa, who's managed just 3 games for the national side, but that doesn't mean that the Poles will be pushovers. Boasting one of the greatest strikers of our generation in Robert Lewandowski, you can expect this side to play attacking football. Piotr Zielinski and Arkadiusz Milik should support the Bayern Munich star up front, but will it be enough? Slovakia are a team no one's giving a chance, but if their defence, led by Milan Skriniar, remains defiant, this team could cause an upset. Expectations are low, so Slovakia are going to play without any pressure. Predictions: Spain should be able to top this group easily, and then we see the game between Sweden and Poland ending up deciding who finishes second. That encounter will be a close one, and we sense that Poland might just nick it. The Group of Death. It really riles you up to know that 3 of the strongest sides in the world, France, Germany and Portugal, have been thrown into the same group. This means that one good side is set to go back home without even featuring in the knockout round. All of these games will take place in Munich and Budapest, so Germany and Hungary have a distinct advantage. However, this might not be enough to push out the likes of France and Portugal, who have all the right credentials to win the tournament. Les Bleus head into this tournament as world champions, and they've got a squad that can make them European champions as well. They lost the last tournament's final to Portugal, and they'll be eager to set the record straight this time around. Karim Benzema has returned to the fold, and it'll be interesting to see how the Real Madrid man will perform since returning from exile. Portugal are another side that should back themselves to go all the way. They're the reigning champions, and if you ask us, their current squad is even better than the one that won the tournament 5 years ago. Cristiano Ronaldo might still be their star player, but to be fair, the legendary forward will need a lot of help this time around. you need to watch out for 21-year-old João Felix and Manchester United star Bruno Fernandes. Fernando Santos knows that he has a great squad at his disposal and will expect them to go far in the competition and even retain their crown. Germany will be eager to see the best of Serge Gnabry, who scored 8 goals in the qualifiers. But this is a relatively young German team that will rely on the likes of Jamal Musiala and Kai Havertz to get the job done. Die Mannschaft always does well in major tournaments, and with the 2020 Euros being Joachim Löw's last tournament as Germany manager, expect the players to give everything on the field for the man who made the national side a true behemoth. The Hungarians, meanwhile, will be wondering how to not concede goals. Their best player in the qualifiers was centre-back Willi Orban, and he was even their top scorer in the qualifiers with 3 goals. That just shows how much help this team needs. With star player Dominik Szoboszlai out injured, Hungary will struggle for creativity and should expect to be with their families in a few days' time. Our predictions. It'll be a big surprise if France don't top this group. However, the game between Portugal and Germany will decide who goes home and who stays in the competition. We expect the Portuguese to secure a place in the round of 16 at the expense of Germany, who have a lot of talented players but lack sufficient experience this time around. So, this was our quick Euro 2020 group preview. Which teams do you think will qualify for the round of 16? Let us know your predictions in the comment section.